Hello you plonkers, and welcome back today to a different sort of video on the Drewzy channel. So obviously we've got the AFL All-Stars vs Victorians Bushfire Relief game coming up. Very exciting. Haven't seen State of Origin in 12 years, I think was the last time it was on. So it's refreshing and good to see this sort of game be played. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the teams, look at the matchups, pick who I would play where. It's a bit of a messy video. I'm just going to go with the flow and see what happens really. So on your screen now is the all-star team in their positions, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them on the field, show you where I'd put them as a AFL mastermind. Let's start with the back line. The only real fullback there, really like fullback, is my boy Harris Andrews. So we're going to chuck him in at fullback. Bang, there goes Harry boy. I've gone with Callum Mills just because he's a good boy. He can sit there in the back pocket. And then Brad Shepherd, who is a very underrated player. He will be an All-Australian this year. So we're going to chuck him in the back pocket. Now onto the half back line. So I'm going to go Jeremy Howe, centre half back. Big marks, athleticism, he can do it all. Everyone knows Jeremy Howe. Brodie Smith, the absolute modern day centre half back flank machine. And then on the other side, Jason, JJ, Johannisen, baby. Oh man, that's so wet. This backline, so athletic, quick. Oh man, I'm so excited to see this game. So obviously, Paddy Cripps is a lock. Ross Lyon didn't start him in his one, and that's just ridiculous for me. Chuck Paddy Cripps in there, obviously that's a lock. Nat Fyfe, Brownlow medalist last year, he gets a gig. And if you think against that, then you're just a bloody moron. So there goes Nathan Fyfe. And then Lachie Neale. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better midfield than that, really. If you try to, then you're wrong. Alright, my opinion's the only one that's right, so shut up. And then Ruck, we're obviously going to chuck the best ruckman in the AFL at the moment in Brodie Grundy. So Grundy Mundy Pundy is the ruckman, tapping it down to Cripps. Fumbles. Oh, that's right, Lachie Neale's there. Gets it up. Fyfe bursts through the midfield, but who does he kick it to? We're about to find out in the forward line. Alrighty, the big centre half forward, the hustler, the bustler, is Jack Revolt. Get in there, Jackie boy. Well, I forgot about the wingers, so let's do them first, shall we? Brad Hill, best winger in the comp, I think. And then Isaac Smith on the other side. Can do a job up forward as well. Those are my wingers of choice. But anyway, back onto the forward line. I'm actually going to chuck Elliot Yeo, who I've got in the midfielder category, into the forward line. He can play anywhere, Elliot Yeo. One of the best utilities in the comp. You can play him anywhere, and he'll do a job for you. So for that reason, I'm going to put him at centre half forward flank. With him, I'm going to also chuck Dane Zorko. Even though I put him in the midfielder category, it doesn't matter. He plays forward end midfield, so he can play centre half forward flank. And if you disagree, banner. It's a man like Tommy Hawkins, the pretty boy, the smiley miley, is going in at full forward. Who's going to be next to him? Sonny Michael Walters, the best small forward in the competition. No, he isn't. Charlie Cameron is. And that is just wet. Look at those pockets just filled with Indigenous magic. I am so keen to see Charlie Cameron and Michael Walters play together. On the bench, you've got Bruce, Caniglio, doesn't really matter. They're going to have 9 players on the interchange. Zach Chewy, pretty stiff to not get in. Lachie Weller, he can get in the bin. No one cares about him. Neville Jetta, stiff. Shane Edwards, I don't feel bad for. He's sort of out of place. Tex Walker's been out of form for years. He can stay on the bench. And then Scott Lysett. Alrighty, so now that we've got the all-star team lineup, let's do the matchups. Let's put the Victorians in their spots and let's see which juicy matchups come out of it. Who am I going to put fullback? I reckon Blitzarves. I reckon Blitzarves on Tommy Hawkins will be an absolute watch and a half. Blitzarves versus Hawkins. The Geelong boys going at it. Elite athleticism. Tall, strong boys. Just rubbing heads, going hard for it. Oh, there's so many matchup dreams in this game. Dreams! Let's get the obvious ones out of the way. So, Batcher Hooley, I'm putting him on Elliot Yeo. Darcy Moore, I'm going to chuck him on Jack Revolt. I think that'll be a good matchup. Lloyd, he has to get a gig. He got like 44 touches against the Dockers, so for that reason, he'll be playing on Michael Walters. Sicily can go on Cameron. That'll be a very interesting matchup. The clash of personalities, if you will. Well, Haynes made the grand final, so just for that reason, I'm going to chuck him there. The old Brisbane versus GWS rivalry continues. Alrighty, so that's the back line done. Let's have a look at that. So obviously Hawkins versus Blitzarves, I think, is the main matchup there. That's making my heart pump, skipping a beat, just thinking about how exciting that's going to be. Sicily and Cameron, if they get into each other, that's going to be a sight to behold as well. I don't know how rough it's going to be since it's a charity match. I don't know if everyone's going to behave themselves. I hope they get into it. It'll be a more entertaining watch. Lloyd and Walters, pretty standard. Bashahuli and Elliot Yeo, those are all great matchups. I'm going to start Steph Martin. One of the best ruckmans in the comp, obviously. Runs all over the ground. Now, which midfielders? I'm spoiled for choice, really, aren't I? Bond, Cochin, Dusty's in there. He'd probably match up on Fife, I'd say. Pendlebury, one of my favourite players in the AFL. He'll match up on Cripper and the Bont, I'd say. Yeah, we're going the Bont. How can you not? The Bont, Pendlebury, and Dusty in the same midfield. Oh my god. Against Fife, Cripps, and Lockie Neal. We need more of this. Jesus Christ. This is going to be a watch for the ages. On the wings, who are we going to have? Lockie Whitfield. I'll chuck him next to Smithy, so that'll be a good matchup. None of these guys are really wingers, though. I'm going to go Kelly. I think Kelly's the best player out of that lot, or he's going to be the best player out of that lot when we look back in 10 years' time. Alrighty, so that's the midfield sorted. Now we're just going to the forward line of the Victorians. Full forward, how can you go against Lynch? Not much more to say, really. Everyone knows what he's capable of. Centre half forward, Jeremy Cameron. Jezelenko, as they call him. I think he won the Coleman, didn't he? So let's chuck him in there against Jeremy Howe. Again, what a matchup that is. I'm thinking Toby Green. Yeah, that'll get the fans going. I wonder if he'll get booed, but he'll be playing on Brodie Smith. He'll be kept quiet, or will he? It's a bloody good matchup, mate. You know when you're watching your favourite team play and you see your power forward playing, and then there's the second sort of forward that gets the weaker defender. There's none of this in this game. Every player cancels each other out. I don't even know what way it's gonna go. They're all as good as each other. I mean, Danger can't not be in there. Alright, I'll chuck him with Brad Shepherd. That's a fucking good matchup. If this happens, everyone will see how good Brad Shepherd actually is. There's no Port Adelaide players in there, so I'm going to chuck Robbie Gray. You can go forward pocket, Robster. Just because I can do what I want, I'm going to chuck Rory Sloane in. No, I'm not. Actually, there's no Kangaroo players in there, so I am going to chuck Sean Higgins on Jason Johannesson. We got Robbie Gray versus Callum Mills. Standard. Not too exciting, that one, but let's move on. Harris Andrews versus Tom Lynch. I mean, All-Australian fullback, full forward. Brad Shepherd, the future of the All-Australian backline, along with Patrick Dangerfield, one of the greatest players of our generation. Sean Higgins, a solid Kangaroo up against the premiership playing, winning Jason, I forgot his name, JJ Johannesson. Jeremy Howe, how did he do that against Jeremy Cameron? Coleman versus one of the most athletic defenders in the league. Mental matchup. Toby Green versus Brodie Smith. The flair and the fire against the modern day AFL pushing backman. Wet. I can't wait to see it. Lockie Whitfield against Isaac Smith. I think that's the biggest mismatch in the field. I think Whitfield, if this happens, will run circles around Isaac Smith. And Pendles versus Cripps. Dusty versus Fife. Bontempelli versus Neal. I don't need to say anymore, mate. You know that's just going to be fireworks. And then we got Grundy versus Steph Martin. Two best ruckmen in the AFL, probably. I suppose Gawn, but she's gone. So then we got Hill versus Kelly. I mean, Hill will probably burn him for pace, but I think Kelly could link up the play for the Victorians better than Hill can link up the play for the All-Stars. Then Hooley versus Yo. That's going to be a very tight contested matchup. Moore versus Revolt. I think Revolt's going to get outshone by the likes of Tommy Hawkins, Michael Walters. I think Revolt is the weakest link in that line, to be honest, in the whole forward line. Zorko versus Haynes, Lloyd versus Walters, the two Geelong boys. Then we got Cameron on Sicily. So my prediction is, based on these lineups, I'm going to say it's going to be so tight, but I think Victoria edges it. Obviously, I'm from WA. I'll be rooting for the All-Stars, but I think the Victorians will edge it. I'm going to say by 20 5 points. But yeah, I'm so excited for this. Can't wait to watch it. Bit of a different video. Let me know if you liked it or not. If you're not following my Instagram, it's @_Drewzy. Also, I saw a stat. It was like 80% of the viewers of my last video weren't subscribed to the channel. So subscribe, get me to 1,000 by the start of footy season. That would be very nice of you. Other than that, thanks for watching. I'll see you when you're older. Until then, don't go changing.